Do you know what the strangest form of depression is? The one no one notices. Because you're still functioning. You're that person everyone thinks is strong, disciplined, doing fine. But deep down, you know the truth. You're alive, but not living. High-functioning depression is waking up every day like a machine, going to work, replying to messages, smiling at the right moments, while feeling absolutely nothing on the inside. And the scariest part? Even you start believing everything is okay, simply because your life still works from the outside. If something in these words hit you, if it felt like I was describing you, stay with me, because I'm about to uncover a side of this condition that most people are too afraid to talk about. And before we continue, if this resonates with you, hit the like and subscribe, because the next parts go even deeper, and things are about to get darker. The biggest lie of high-functioning depression is that everything on the outside seems fine. You work, you laugh, you reply to messages, you show up on time, you help others, and from the outside, no one, literally no one, can guess what you're actually carrying. The problem isn't that you hide your pain, it's that you manage it, like someone bleeding under their clothes, who learned to bandage the wound so perfectly that even doctors think they're healthy. You're the person who says, "I'm fine," or "just tired," and nobody questions it, because everyone is used to seeing you pull yourself together every single time. But here's where it gets dangerous. After years of playing the strong one, you start believing you're not allowed to be weak, not allowed to be exhausted, not allowed to ask for help. And that's when high-functioning depression stops being a feeling and turns into a lifestyle. You stop expressing pain. You start suppressing emotions. And instead of living, you just exist. You're not unproductive. You're worse. You're productive without purpose. And you can go on like this for months or years, silently, efficiently, numb, until one day, something tiny, a text, a comment, a small mistake, breaks you, not because of that moment, but because of everything you've been holding in for so long. This part is for that moment, the moment you can't fake it anymore, and you realize how far you've drifted from yourself. If this feels familiar, you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not to blame. It's a bitter paradox. The strongest people often carry the heaviest pain, not because they're weaker, but because they're less visible. From childhood, these people learn to solve their problems alone. No crying, no asking for help, no saying this is too much. They were told, be strong, handle it, you're responsible, don't be a burden. And they believed it. They built armor. Thick, shiny, impressive armor. So convincing that everyone else believed it too. But the truth? Every strong person has a hidden fracture, a place no one knows about because they never let anyone get close enough to see it. They learn to swallow exhaustion, lock up fear, bury disappointment, and keep moving so no one else has to deal with their struggle. But someone does deal with it. Themselves. Alone. Every day. Little by little. Their smile becomes an act. Their mind becomes numb. Their energy drains quietly. Their dreams start fading. And loneliness becomes their default setting. Strong people don't collapse. They don't scream. They don't break dramatically. They dim. Slowly. Quietly. Internally. That's how high-functioning depression grows. You still show up. You still perform. But you stopped living long ago. This part is for those who've been strong for too long. So long that no one realizes how much they need a pause, a breath, a moment of being understood. Because here's the truth. Strong people don't fall because they're strong. They fall because they were never allowed to be anything else. Constant exhaustion, even after resting. Not physical fatigue. It's a deep mental heaviness. A sense that your inner battery never fully charges. You function well, but nothing feels rewarding. You work. You talk. You socialize. You achieve things. But inside, nothing. No spark. No joy. Just numbness. A quiet sense of emptiness. Nothing is wrong, yet something is missing. A subtle, lingering void you can't name. You're always playing the role of the strong one. Dependable. Responsible. Capable. And this role becomes your prison. Because once people believe you're strong, they stop checking if you're okay. You're tired of people, but afraid of being alone. A strange emotional conflict. Needing space, but craving connection at the same time. Your mind never shuts off. Constant overthinking. Constant self-pressure. Constant what-if loops. It's not anxiety. It's self-survival mode. You always put yourself last. Everyone's needs matter, except yours. You've become your own lowest priority. You hide your pain too well. You smile. You laugh. You say, "I'm fine." And people believe you. But deep down, you know it's a mask. Picture someone who had to grow up too early. Not because anyone forced them, but because life didn't give them space to be a child. They learned responsibility before joy, strength before expression, survival before safety. Years later, this person grows into the adult everyone admires. Strong, responsible, stable. And that admiration becomes a cage. Because the moment they show weakness, people say, "But you're the strong one, what happened?" So they hide it. They pretend. They keep going. High-functioning depression doesn't appear with breakdowns. It appears quietly, with a single exhausted thought. I can't stop, because if I stop, I'll fall apart. From the outside, they look disciplined, motivated, unstoppable. From the inside, they're running on empty, hoping no one notices. And the tragedy? High-functioning depression targets the people who carried too much for too long, not the ones who carried too little. Part 6 is the part nobody talks about, the part that stays behind closed doors. It's the moment at 2 a.m. when the world is quiet, and someone is lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, feeling nothing, absolutely nothing. Not sadness, not anger, not fear, just emptiness. A quiet kind of exhaustion that whispers, "You're never going to be enough." And that whisper follows them into the morning, into their routines, into their relationships, into their work. From the outside, they look composed, confident, productive, organized. But inside, there's a voice saying, "Just get through today. Tomorrow will feel the same." They achieve something great, and instead of joy, they feel nothing. They smile, but their eyes stay still, cold, disconnected. Sometimes they stand in front of the mirror and don't recognize themselves, not because they've changed, but because they stopped feeling long ago. And the darkest part? They secretly wish someone would notice their pain without needing to explain it, because admitting they're struggling feels like failing, and so they carry it silently until silence becomes their second skin. Part 7 begins where denial ends, where a person, after years of being functional, finally asks themselves a simple but terrifying question. Do I really have to keep living like this? It often happens in a strange, quiet moment. Maybe after a long day, when they drop their keys on the table, sink into a chair, and stare at nothing. And suddenly, something shifts inside them. When did I become this? When did stress become the engine of my life? When did smiling turn into a mask? This moment isn't dramatic. No tears, no breakdown, just a crack. A tiny crack in the armor they've worn for years. And that crack is the beginning of light. For the first time, they start noticing things. How much they've silenced themselves. How long they've carried everything alone. How disconnected they've become from who they used to be. Then comes the hardest part. The moment of truth. I'm tired. I can't keep doing this. I need to help myself. Even if nobody helps me. This isn't weakness. This is power. A power they haven't felt in years. Because someone who has survived silently, someone who has functioned while drowning, is incredibly strong the moment they admit, I want to live differently. Not with a giant leap, not with a sudden transformation, but with the first small desire. To breathe again. The desire. To feel again. To exist with intention, not exhaustion. It all comes down to this. You can survive for years without ever truly living. You can smile without feeling, function without meaning, and look strong while falling apart. What pulls you out isn't a miracle. It's a small decision. The moment you refuse to keep being the exhausted version of yourself. That's where change begins. Seeing yourself clearly, accepting the truth, and building a life where you are not just alive, but present. If this message hit you, like the video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. When did you realize you were functioning, not living? Your story might wake someone else up too.